Wednesdays are weird.
Pack it up. We're done. Cut.
I still get paid though, right?
And action.
Hey guys, welcome back to the BookNet. Today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, Star Wars, and I'm sure it's a lot of people's favorite topic to talk about. I've been a Star Wars fan for a really long time, and what I've read and watched and know about Star Wars is just like the tip of the iceberg to what's out there. There is a whole huge expanded universe when it comes to Star Wars. I mean, there's the movies everybody's probably seen, there's the newer movies, there's comics, there's cartoon shows, there's books, there's everything. And my favorite thing is reading, obviously, so I'm a huge fan of the books. For me personally, my favorite characters are always kind of the classic trio, Han, Leia, Luke. And so when I started going into the expanded universe of Star Wars, I definitely stuck to just those characters. I mean, Clone Wars is the really big thing now, especially with the TV show, the cartoon, and the movies that were made most recently. Those were all to do with the Clone Wars. But those are all before my favorite characters. So I definitely tend to stay like ABY, which, if you guys don't know, ABY is after the Battle of Yavin. And Battle of Yavin is that first Death Star battle they do in A New Hope. Also, the other thing that I love is they're all different authors, all the books, and they all kind of have to work together. They go through Lucas to get kind of checked off. So you can read tons of different books by different authors in different times, but they're all going to somewhat match up to what's been said before. They might not talk about what's been happening in other books, but they're not going to contradict each other, which is really fun. My favorite author that does Star Wars books is Timothy Zahn. And I read a couple of Star Wars books before I ran into Timothy Zahn's books, and once I did, I mean, they were awesome. They blew my mind. Timothy Zahn has this great knack of making Star Wars characters that weren't in any of the original movies, but it seems like they are. They're perfect for Star Wars. He fits them in awesome. I mean, some of my favorite characters, even more than the original guys, are from Timothy Zahn's Expanded Universe books. So the first ones I'm going to talk about is the Thrawn Triology. So the Thrawn Triology takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, and it follows Luke, Han, Leia. Han and Leia are now married. She's pregnant with twins. Luke's kind of now a Jedi and one of the only Jedis out there. And although they've defeated the Empire with the destruction of the second Death Star, there's still fleets out there that still want to kind of do the Empire's work. And there's still some bad guys. And Thrawn, Admiral Thrawn, is the new bad guy that he introduces. And it's this blue-skinned alien. And he is really awesome. And he kind of is always the bad guy that's lurking in the Timothy Zahn novels for Star Wars. And he's a really good bad character. Also, my favorite thing about Timothy Zahn is that he created Mara Jade. And Mara Jade is like one of my top favorite Star Wars characters, even though she's not in any of the movies. Well, she's supposed to be in like the background of Return of the Jedi, but you don't actually see her because they just say that later. But Mara Jade is a really kick-ass character. I don't want to say too much about her because if you don't know much about her and you're thinking about reading the Timothy Zahns and the Thrawn novels, there's going to be some spoilers in there, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I think I Wikipedia'd her way too early and saw some stuff, and I was like, oh man, I wish I didn't know that was going to happen. The one cool thing about the Star Wars books for Star Wars fans is you get to go to other planets in the Star Wars universe. You get to go to the Hutts, Nar Shaddaa, and you actually go to the spice mines of Kessel, which they always talk about in the movies. You can go to all those places that they bring up, and it's so much more fun. I mean, Yavin 4, you only see the outside of it for a little bit, and Jedi Academy, you get to see what's really going on and what's on the planet. So that's why it's just like even chock full of more information that Star Wars fans would love. Also, you get to read more about your favorite characters too. Wedge, he becomes a main character in a lot of the books, and you just learn other new Jedis, new bad guys, and just people that you've heard about, places that you've heard about, and you finally actually get to go and explore those places. So it just brings everything to a whole new level. So if you're interested in reading the Star Wars novels, I would say probably pick kind of your time period that you like. The Expanded Universe, I mean, it goes like 200 years before the Clone Wars, all the way to 200 years after Return of the Jedi. So there's tons of history either way. If you really like Clone Wars, go read Clone War books because there's tons of them. If you really like the classic trio like I do, definitely go for the Thrawn series and anything kind of afterwards. The Thrawn series starts 5 years after, like I said before, so that's a good way to do it. They go even farther. I'm just starting the new Jedi Legacy, which is, their kids are all grown up now. So that's like, 20 years after Battle of Yavin, perhaps. And those ones are really awesome, too. I definitely just stick to the trio. I like to see what they're doing. The other ones that I have read, I did read one that was before Battle of Yavin. That was the Han Solo trilogy, which was really cool because Han Solo is like the best character ever, obviously. And if you like Han Solo, definitely read that one. If you like Boba Fett, definitely read that one too because he makes an appearance in that. And that goes all the way from when Han is a young kid, all the way up to him being in the Imperial Army, all the way up to him meeting Chewie, all the way from him winning the Millennium Falcon from Lando, and then all the way to him walking into Mos Eisley's Cantina. So that one's awesome because all 3 books, they just kind of bring you right up to the movie and to the start of it. The Jedi Academy is really awesome. That starts after the Battle of Yavin. Luke is Jedi now, and he's trying to rebuild the Jedi Force. And opens up a Jedi Academy back on Yavin 4, actually. And that one's really cool, because Luke was never always my favorite character. I always thought Leia was super sweet in the movie because she was like badass and had like a gun. And Han Solo obviously was the best one. But when I kind of got into the expanded universe, Luke started being more my favorite character because he was like a full-fledged Jedi now and was just awesome being a Jedi. And it just took him to a whole nother level. Most of you guys have probably heard that they're redoing the movies. Not redoing the movies, they're coming out with more movies. By J.J. Abrams is going to direct it, which is really exciting. And nobody knows what they're going to do. The 3 are coming back. I know Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher are all signed on to come back. Their age makes people kind of question, like, when is this going to take place? Are they going to try to make them look younger and do it not so far out? Are they going to try to use them as the age they look right now? Nobody really knows. Nobody really even knows that they're going to go based upon the books in the expanded universe, which I think they should. There's a lot of stuff out there with Han and Leia's kid and Luke and all them and the Jedis that some family dark side issues come back up, and I think those would be awesome for the movie. I don't want to say what it is, obviously, but if anybody's read kind of way far into the book series, then they probably know what I'm talking about. But I know I'm excited to hear all about the new news that's coming out, and follow me on Facebook because the more information that comes out, I'm definitely going to post that stuff. Same with my WordPress and Tumblr and everything. Everything's down below, and I'm going to be updating that as much as I can. Right now, it's just all like cloak and dagger and secrets, and nobody knows what's going on. But hopefully, once they start like filming and rolling, they'll let people know like a little bit of stuff. So I'll post that as it comes in. Hopefully, I'm excited about it. But that's all for now. If you guys have any other Star Wars books that you like, anything that is, before the Battle of Yavin Clone Wars style, and you think those books are really good and I should give them a shot, definitely let me know because those ones I haven't read and I would be interested to get into those in that era of the Star Wars universe. But yeah, Timothy Zahn's, check him out. All of the Thrawn books. And the Han Solo trilogy is probably my favorite. Those ones are awesome. And anything that Timothy Zahn writes. He does Choices of One, Outbound Flight, Allegiance. All of his are great. I definitely recommend him if you haven't read the Star Wars book yet. So, if you're a Star Wars fan, BookNet's telling you to go out and read and buy those books. You won't be disappointed, I promise you. Alright, bye guys. Go read.